Parkrose game. I watched the Wilsonville game. to be man-to-man even tonight against this LaSalle Prep team that has some really good receivers.
Yeah, they have a couple of good wide receivers. Their tight end occasionally will slip out and help them out a little bit, but their wide receivers in particular, they have Tay Brooks that is very, very good. He stretches the field a bit and comes back to the football very, very well. And then you bring in the Cardwell and just the
You want me to get
Bjorkovic, whatever his name is. Bjorvik.
And Dominique Pisa. Oh, no. I almost messed up there. Well, I kind of did mess it up. Pisavesky.
Okay.
Pisaneski. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and the thing about Pisaneski, he's a senior. He's 5'9", but he's that possession guy. He finds spaces, and he's a really good blocker. Tay Brooks, their head coach, Aaron Hazel, says he's the best receiver he's ever coached. And he's coached at LaSalle Prep for 4 years, but he spent 9 years at Skyview in Washington. Wow. So he's seen some guys in his time. They have the athletes. Part of the question is going to be, how well can Justin Owens distribute the ball when he's playing quarterback? And if Ethan Edgerly comes in and plays quarterback, which they do from time to time, can he be the one who distributes the ball maybe deeper down the field, try to stretch this Hermiston defense out? I thought the thing last week Pendleton couldn't do against Hermiston was stretch them out. All the passing stuff was within 10 yards of the line of scrimmage. It allowed the safeties to be up closer to defend against the run.
And it's going to be the same thing tonight, Eric. It's going to depend upon, how much pressure we keep on the quarterback. If we allow the quarterback to go ahead and be back there and setting his feet all night long, then we're going to be hurting. We're going to be hurting a little bit. We need Keaton McCamey to come through with the same type of night that he had last week, as well as the left side DN. That whole defensive line needs to step it up in this game here. If they can go ahead and contain the pass, contain Owens inside the pocket, and make him have to move in that pocket, we're going to bode fairly well.
McCamey, 4 sacks last week, 6 tackles for loss behind the line of scrimmage in Hermiston's win at Pendleton. LaSalle Prep and Hermiston, are out on the field right now. Pendleton is down in Eugene. They'll take on Churchill tonight. We'll take a look through the rest of the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. Top half of the bracket, number 1 seed Mountain View is hosting Milwaukee. Thurston is at Silverton, Marist at Crescent Valley, and those Buckaroos are taking on the Lancers. Bottom half, the winner of this one takes on the winner of Crater at South Albany. Lebanon is at Sandy. The defending state champions are the 10th seed, taking on the number 2 team out of the Northwest Oregon Conference. And Bend is the number 15 seed, and they have the Wilsonville Wildcats, who beat LaSalle Prep last week. Captains in midfield, the coin toss is going to happen. We'll come back with your national anthem and kickoff tonight from Kennison Field to Bulldog Stadium on AM 1360 KOHU. that who was going to get this ball, but it looks like Hermiston will be kicking things off to LaSalle Prep. And so the Falcons will start with the ball this evening, attacking left to right as we get ready for the OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A Football State Championship round of 16. Ethan Edgerly is back to the right, and Chris Bianca to the left to return this kickoff. Off of the toe, Deshaun Neal, the right-footed senior kicker, handed the ball. They had to switch balls this week to go to the official ball of the OSAA playoffs, so it is a Wilson out there this week.
That's what I wish they'd get settled at the very beginning of the year, make sure every high school is using that. We've done that in softball a couple of times and been burned a couple.
Neal to kick it away. Low bounding ball to the near sideline. Edgerly on a high hop takes it at the 17, moving in the middle of the field at the 20. 25, he gets the edge. He'll stop and at the 25 be pulled down and thrown to the turf. Falcons going to have the ball to start things off. First down and 10 from the 27-yard line.
Yeah, that time there, Taylor Arnold made it out there on that play very well to help out on that first play of the game, Eric. And then that's the key. You got to be able to go ahead and keep LaSalle on the long end of the field and not let us shorten up our field.
First down and 10. Justin Owens in a shotgun set. Turns, hands off. It's J.J. Maynard running right down the middle and up to the 35-yard line. He will move the ball 70 yards on the opening play. LaSalle Prep wants to go fast. No huddle. Their receivers peering over past the quarterback to the sideline where the signals are being relayed in. Owens will have Menor to his right and hand it off. Left side run. Menor stopped and stood up, running right into the arms of the defensive end. No gain. Third down and 3 facing the Falcons within the first minute of this contest. Eric White at one defensive end. Keaton McCamey at the other. Bo Blake, A.J. Fernandez at the defensive tackle positions. Jonathan Hinkle and Peter Earl are your linebackers. Tyler Rorman and Yabani Razone, cornerbacks. Luke Walshley out there, manned up as well on third down and 2. Counterplay to the right side. Menor trying to get to the edge. He will turn upfield, put his shoulder down to the 40, flag out as he bounces across the 40-yard line. Check that. That was Jawan Lane, the sophomore change-up running back, who is able to get the first down yardage, but we have to check on the marker here with George Gillette and these officials from the Intermountain Officials Association.
Looks like they're against Hermiston, a face mask. So that's going to hurt Hermiston much more. Not only did he get the 7 yards on the rush, but they also get another first down via the penalty. And Hermiston can't afford these type of mistakes early in this game, Eric.
Since week 1 against Union, no team has played Hermiston with this much tempo. It's the opening drive for LaSalle Prep, and the face mask penalty moves the ball to the 42-yard line in Hermiston territory. Owens will hand off. Lane to the left side. Lane stretching it out to the edge. Now he'll turn upfield just outside the numbers and be pulled down at the 37-yard line. As Hermiston has in on the tackle, Rorman and Neal. 10:26 on the clock, opening quarter, opening drive, and LaSalle Prep trying to strike first in this 5A opening round game. Menor is behind Owens in a pistol set. The quarterback walks up to the line, now back set, slaps his hands together, turns and hands off. Menor running to the left side. Menor breaks into the second level and gets a first down, reaching for the 30-yard line. He's short of that, but does get the yardage needed to move the chains again for the Falcons.
Yeah, Hermiston right now is being beat off the ball, just as we saw against Pendleton, Eric. That's the one thing. Hermiston's defensive line really needs to start stepping it up.
Wisner and Hunter need to hurry to get off of the field as Blake and Fernandez switch back on in this 1st and 10 from the 31-yard line. Hard count. Now Owens will walk up to the line, change the call, set himself back up at the pistol, turn and hand off. Menor right down the middle, and he runs right into Bo Blake. Wrestled to the ground after a gain of 1. Just across the 30-yard line is where the ball will be spotted. As the pace continues to stay quick, Lane switches in for Menor the running back position, and the senior quarterback Owens, a three-sport athlete at LaSalle Prep. He'll play basketball next, and then he's also a baseball player. 2nd and 9. Owens looking to throw for the first time. Left side, square out pass completed to Brooks. Brooks spins around a defender, and Tay Brooks has it inside the 15 before he's finally wrestled down. Made a good move to get around the cornerback, and Deshaun Neal had to pull him down. The forward progress gets him all the way up to the 12-yard line, and another LaSalle Prep first down. 9:16 on the clock, and look at the pace that they are attacking with.
You know, and that's, again, they have got to, Hermiston's got to pick this up. I mean, if Hermiston really wants to make sure that everything is going to go well for them, they can't let LaSalle Prep dictate the pace that they're going to play at.
First down and 10 from the 12. Owens, set, hands off. Menor running in the middle again, and runs into a wall of purple. Hinkle in there on the stop along with Fernandez for the Bulldogs. Just a yard gain with 8:50 on the clock in the opening quarter. LaSalle Prep has the ball down into Hermiston's red zone, knocking on the door.
One nice thing, Eric, we do know for sure is that they do not have a real, if Hermiston stops them here, they do not have a real confident kicking game.
2nd and 10. 2nd and 9. Play action. Rolling to the right, Owens. He's in trouble. Will throw over the middle. Underneath pass is just underneath and incomplete. Pisaniski was the intended target, the senior guy who finds open space, and that's what he did on that scramble play. But the pass just couldn't get to him with enough mustard. 3rd down and 9 facing the Falcons with 8:22 on the clock. In this scoreless game, the opening drive for LaSalle Prep, they have it all the way down to the Hermiston 11. Owens with the back to his right. Motions the H-back left to right. 3 receiver options right side. They'll throw it underneath that way.
Hit.
A quick pass and a catch. Then knocked down immediately was Ethan Edgerly. Joey Gutierrez is the one who makes the stop, and he forces a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th down and 10. And they will run out the field goal kicker. Out of the hold of Riley McDonough. This is a 28-yard kick. Bad snap, and McDonough's going to try to scramble and go for a fake field goal. McDonough, righty throw to the near side. Incomplete, too high over everybody, and it's a turnover on downs for Hermiston. It looked like it was a good snap, so I don't know if maybe it was supposed to be a fake right from the get-go.
It looked like it, Eric, and, you know, that's the one thing you can't count out any, trick plays on this, but a great job by Hermiston staying at home. Joey Gutierrez right there to make sure it was stopped, just in case he did complete the pass.
In many ways, the Bulldogs survive, and they have the ball with 7:39 on the clock in the first quarter. Scoreless game, 1st and 10 from their 12. Handoff, Hinkle running left. He'll go down behind the left guard and push his way all the way up to the 19-yard line before he runs into big Lucas Van Wagner. 6'4", 265 at one tackle position. Ben Weiss the other, 6'2", 245. Tony Wynn at one defensive end, and Shaq Saeed Janoff is at the other defensive end. Chris Bianca, Noah Schultz, and Casey Green are the linebackers. 2nd down and 3 facing the Bulldogs. H-back McCamey takes a handoff running left as Hinkle was rushing out to the right. McCamey across the 20, near the 21. It'll, I believe, bring up a 3rd down and a short. Tay Brooks and Dominique Pisaniski, Jack Kunstam, and Griffin Cardwell are the secondary men for LaSalle Prep in their starting lineup, and they have Hermiston facing a 3rd down and 1, nearing the midpoint of the first quarter. This scoreless game. Deshaun Neal, Luke Walsh will go wide to the right side. Handoff to Hinkle running left. Hinkle's got the first down yardage. Came right behind Bo Blake, the left guard, and he was able to find his way a couple of yards to the 24 to first down.
Eric, one thing that I'm noticing already, since we're seeing them keying on Hinkle so hard off the rush, watch this play, watch this read option go, because once Andrew goes ahead and leaves the ball, they're keying so hard on Hinkle.
First down and 10. Razone by himself to the left side from the 24. James running right now. He's going to just pull it down and run himself. Breaks her one tackle into the arms of Schultz, and he's thrown down at the 30-yard line. Scrambling for 6. Andrew James this season is still the team's leading rusher. That's his 118th carry. He has 880 yards rushing and 8 touchdowns. Passing this season, 1,600 plus yards, 19 touchdowns to just 5 interceptions, 4 of which came in week 1. Second down and 4 for James. An empty backfield as Earl swings out to the right flat. He'll catch it there. Earl caught in the backfield and brought down immediately. Brooks gets to him as the first one there for the Falcons, and it's a 3rd and long facing Hermiston.
Yeah, that time there, Peters should have caught the ball and then taken a look up before he did it. He bounced outside. The hole was inside of that block on the outside.
3rd down and 7. Snap will come with about 5 minutes left in the first quarter. Hermiston breaks their huddle. Joey Gutierrez, Giovanni Razone comes to the near side. Check that. It's Jordan Ramirez. Up top, Rorman and Neal. James, straight drop, looking left, steps up in the pocket, rushed over the middle, picked off, tipped out of the hands, in and out of the hands of Griffin Cardwell, who should have had an interception right around the 30-yard line. Instead, Hermiston will at least have the chance to punt and get it out of their own end.
Hermiston very lucky that Joey Gutierrez was right there on the play. Joey reached in with his left hand and pulled the defender's left hand away from the ball, allowing it to drop to the ground. That should have been a pick, but Gutierrez helped it out.
Gutierrez will punt from his 12-yard line. Tay Brooks is back to receive. Some pressure coming to the right. The kick is away. It'll bounce at the 50. Take a Hermiston roll inside the 40 and bobble its way down to the 36-yard line. 4:41 left in the first quarter. Each team has had a drive. LaSalle Prep got it all the way down to Hermiston's 12. Hermiston 3 and out.
Well, nice thing about it is, Eric, is right now they weren't able to really flip the field on us. This is pretty close to where they started, 2 yards difference, I believe. Wasn't it on the opening? No, it was right here on the 36 to start the game. So Hermiston is playing the field a little dangerously by almost letting them flip the field on them.
Ethan Edgerly is running the quarterback position on this drive. First down and 10. He will keep it on a read option. Coming to the left side, Eric White has him bottled up, but he's finished off by Tyler Hunter, the senior, got there to help out White. White's an interesting story because he gets hurt before the first game of the season, and he doesn't get to play until last week. He finally is cleared, and so he gets to play in his very last Pendleton game, and now he gets to play in a home playoff game. Second down and 10 after no gain. Edgerly looking to throw. No, this is Owens. Deep ball right side over the top of everybody. Down the near sideline. McDonough has it into Hermiston territory all the way to the 24-yard line.
Yeah, Ramirez that time there allowed him to go ahead and get off the hip, and you can't allow him to get that far out of there.
4:06 left in the first quarter, and LaSalle Prep is threatening again. Brooks is the receiver to the right. 2 options left, including the H-back for Owens at quarterback right now. He'll turn and hand. Menor running to the left side. Menor out to the edge. Breaks one tackle. Outside the numbers at the 20, down to the 15, and finally flipped out of bounds by Giovanni Razone inside of the 15 down to the 14-yard line. A 10-yard run that should have been a gain of none.
Yeah, and that, you've got to be able to go ahead and make those tackles, Eric. That's right in his breadbasket, and should have been able to make that tackle for nothing there.
Still Owens, Edgerly behind him. Under 4 minutes left in the first quarter. LaSalle Prep on their second drive, trying to do what they couldn't on the first, finish this thing. First down and 10. Edgerly, sweep play to the left side. Outside the edge, he breaks one tackle, dives for the pylon, out of bounds. He stepped out, and he had the ball stretched out to the 2-yard line. Somebody tell LaSalle Prep they came out of the Northwest Oregon Conference, and they're 5-4. What a start.
Yeah, they're giving us a little bit of a lesson here, Eric, and they're just absolutely beating us off. One thing we're not doing, we are not containing the corner. They're beating us outside. We need to go ahead, and the defensive ends got to get the push on the outside of that tight end.
2 in the backfield with Owens. First down and goal from the 2. Brooks will clear the backfield. Owens hands to Minor, running behind the left guard. He will get the second effort into the end zone through the arms of McCamey, and LaSalle Prep is on the board with 3:40 left in the first quarter.
Yeah, that time there, Eric, we've just got to be a little bit more diligent and get some fire up on the defensive line right now. LaSalle Prep is playing like they came in, nothing to lose, and they are absolutely taking it to our defensive line.
Point after attempt is up. It is true, and it's 7-0 with 3:40 left in the first quarter. You're listening to Bulldog Football on AM 1360 KOHU.
What happened to AJ? Why isn't he playing?
Back's hurt.
Are you serious?
No.
Has a heart attack.
Oh, that's so stupid.
AJ Blakely, supposedly.
Blakely.
He's right there.
No, I'm not.
From the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Eric Olson with you on AM 1360 KOHU. Sonny Levy as well, and the Hermiston Bulldogs. They're up tight to the 50 as LaSalle Prep has onside kicked this season. This one's going to be a deep ball over towards the near sideline, picked up by Deshaun Neal at the 15. Neal coming down the left in numbers, breaks one tackle across the 25, and he's shoved out of bounds at the 27-yard line. Held on to, he reached back and took a swipe there, and both the defender for LaSalle Prep and Neal need to both be aware that once you hear the whistle, once you get outside the white stripes, you've got to stop what you're doing. But Hermiston, they've got to start something offensively, down 7-0 with 3:33 left in the first quarter. And I said 3 and out. They did get one first down, but then the drive stalled in their own end and ended up being a punt. Andrew James has McCamey to his left shoulder and Peter Earl behind him on their first down and 10 from the 27. Hand off to Earl. Earl running in the middle. Earl is tripped up and gets just back to the line of scrimmage, where he's pulled down by Kunstam.
Yeah, Eric, right now, looking at what we're doing right now, we need to go ahead and get that run on, that read option going, because that first hit right up the middle is not there. It's bouncing out off the tackle outside.
Earl is just over 300 yards rushing this season and 2 touchdowns. He flies out of the backfield, flip it to him into the right flat. Earl gets outside the edge at the 25 and is flipped down at the 30-yard line. LaSalle Prep is flying around. They're showing their team speed right now, and that was Griffin Cardwell, who almost had an interception on Hermiston's first drive that gets the tackle to force a 3rd down and 7 for Hermiston with 2:43 left in the first quarter. James running to the left side, looking to throw into the flat. He will throw, batted down. Reaching up and getting his hand onto the ball was the linebacker, Chris Bianca. It was an open look to the near sideline, but James's pass was batted away. It's another 4th down, and Hermiston has to send the punt team back out. 4th and 7 from their own 30-yard line.
Yeah, Eric, right now, Hermiston, I know, kind of slow starters, but they really have to make sure that they hold, defensively this time. We're about the same place where we punted from the last time. In fact, we are right on the 30-yard line again. And we've got to have another good punt out of Joey to keep us out of trouble.
Joey Gutierrez punting from his 13. Snap's good. Kick is a wobbly ball. Fair catch called for by Brooks. He'll let it bounce. It'll bounce inside the 40 down near the 30-yard line. Good flip of the field. It is a 40-yard punt for Joey Gutierrez, and LaSalle Prep has the ball. First down and 10 from the 30 with a 7-0 lead. 2:14 left in the first quarter. Stop it after this commercial. Just the 30-second. Owens keeps it.
Yes. No
First
gain.
down and 10. No gain for Justin Owens. 2 minutes left in the opening quarter, and the Falcons have the ball with a 7-0 lead. Here on AM 1360, KOHU, Hermiston. Justin Owens in the backfield with Jawan Lane. Lane to his right shoulder. 3 receiver options right. Owens looking left side. Will flip the ball to Brooks. Brooks turns around his defender. Gets across the 50. Brooks breaks the tackle and pulls Giovanni Razzone all the way down to the Hermiston 45-yard line out near the left hash mark.
Wow, Eric, that's the one thing. We can't let them, drive us downfield like that and give them back up like that. That's a good 15-yard pickup that time, and we can't allow that all night long.
25-yard pickup.
25, excuse me.
First down and 10 from the 45. Left hash mark set. Owens in the shotgun. Next to him, Maynard, who takes the handoff, running behind the left guard, breaks a tackle, gets across the 40, down near the 35-yard line where he is ridden down by Deshaun Neal. But it's about a 10-yard run, and
they gave it to him.
And they will give it. It's a 10-yard run, and they'll move the chains. This LaSalle Prep team looking to add on to their touchdown lead with 1:16 left in the first quarter. Coming out flying, and Hermiston just has not had an answer to the tempo, nor for the running game for LaSalle Prep.
Now they're giving a big cushion right now to the receivers. They do have some speed.
First down and 10 from the 35. Quick throw near sideline into the hands of Pisaneski. Pisaneski breaks one level. A flag comes out as Pisaneski gets across the 30-yard line down near the 28-yard line. About a 7-yard gain, but the flag out in the area that should suggest holding on that screenplay. U.S. Bank is proud to partner with the Oregon School Activities Association from the start of the game to the final whistle. Stop by your local U.S. Bank location today. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC.
It'll end up being a total of 11 yards on the penalty because it was a yard behind the line of scrimmage. That was our best defensive play. Eric, we're still giving up way too much cushion on that. Somebody's got to come up and be able to slip underneath that initial blocker to give that help.
Everybody bunched tight to the formation on this first down and 21 from the 46. Handoff to Edgerly running to left side. Edgerly's stuck. Tries to switch the field. Back behind the 50. Edgerly's in trouble. Drop for a big loss. They will mark his forward progress at the 47-yard line and take 7 more yards off for the LaSalle Prep Falcons. It'll be second down and a country mile.
Great job that time by the Hermiston defense of really attacking the ball. Jonathan Hinkle getting into the backfield, as well as I believe it was Taylor Arnold.
Final 15 seconds of the first quarter. And LaSalle Prep doesn't look to be in an incredible hurry. Empty backfield with Edgerly in the quarterback position. 5 seconds left. Will he snap it before? He will. Final play of the quarter, throw near sideline. Pisaneski has it, and he'll be pulled down into the Hermiston bench by Joey Gutierrez and Peter Earl at the 49. It's the final play of the first quarter. 7-0 for the LaSalle Prep Falcons. You're listening to the OSAA 5A state playoffs on AM 1360 KOHU.
Who's number 42?
42?
Yeah, it's on here. It just goes 41, 43. I was just saying who else was saying.
Oh, it's Aiden Villarreal. So the great thing about predictions is it doesn't matter if I'm wrong.
I was going to say, your prediction might be a little
This
low.
isn't looking great right now.
It's so flat. Like, when you look at LaSalle's bench compared to them, they are so flat.
Well, I thought we should have taken a timeout after that first series.
That's right. No, I thought we should have taken a timeout.
From the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Eric Olson, Sonny Levy with you on AM 1360 KOHU. LaSalle Prep, third down and wait, math's hard. 25. 7-0 LaSalle Prep as we start the second quarter. Owens rolling to his right, looking to throw. Rifles one downfield into double coverage, looking for Brooks. Incomplete. And so a fourth down, and Hermiston forces a punt situation for the Falcons. Get the ball back in their hands. 2 drives, just 1 first down, and a couple of punts for Hermiston in that first quarter.
Yeah, and we're going with a single back there, Eric. I still think we ought to be going with 2. And that ought to be out about the 35.
Kick wobbled out of bounds on the far sideline. And they will say the 33-yard line is where Hermiston will take over. Trailing 7-0, 11:49 left in the second quarter. Andrew James trying to get the passing game going. They really didn't throw the ball much last week against Pendleton. It's a pistol set with Jonathan Inkle behind him. 3 receiver options to the right. Nobody out to the left on this first down and 10 from the 33. James, quick throw, right side, behind Ramirez, incomplete.
Yeah, that time there it was just right behind Ramirez, and that would have been a nice little gain because there is that little hole off the H-back hole back there behind the linebacker that seems to be coming pretty hard now.
James has Ramirez out to the left. McCamey will line out wide to the right on this 2nd and 10. Quarterback option, he'll keep it. James out to the left side. James breaks into the second level and has pushed out of bounds across the 45-yard line, running for 13 yards and a Hermiston first down.
Hermiston's second first down on the run that time, and Andrew did a very good job of the read option. He made sure that the defensive end collapsed down, and once he did, just kept it on the loop out to the left.
Just 20 seconds into the second quarter, and Hermiston's trailing by a touchdown. On their third drive, trying to get it into Falcon territory for the first time, James hands off to Hinkle this time, running left. Hinkle puts his shoulder down, and he rolls forward to the 50-yard line. But LaSalle Prep, I wasn't sure, based on what I watched against Wilsonville, that they'd be able to control the inside zone. But right now, their big tackles with Von Wagner and Weiss are doing a really good job of controlling the middle of this line.
Yeah, we're not getting any push. Whatever we're making off the run is by the running back right now because our line is being stood up right at the line.
Second down and 7. James will move Hinkle to his right shoulder. 3 receivers that way. Andrew takes the snap. Play action. Throwing
There
over the
it
middle.
is.
Caught by Joey Gutierrez down the middle. He goes at
And
the
there's your
15, the 10, the
tie
5.
ball game.
It's a touchdown for Hermiston. Hot route down Broadway. Joey Gutierrez takes it 50 yards to the house.
Yeah, that time there, and Andrew didn't miss this one. It was a nice quick throw. And Eric, one thing I'm seeing out there, it almost looks like Andrew is having to go ahead and make sure that he, secures the ball in his throwing hand before he gets ready. We've never seen him have to do that before, is keep both hands up there all that time, but delivered that one right in stride, nobody close.
Jordan Ramirez will be the holder with A.J. Tuia out. This is one of the places Hermiston had to replace. Low snap, it rolls past Ramirez. Deshaun Neal's going to go back. He'll dive on it, and it will end up being a no good extra point try on the snap that rolled. It was not Ramirez's fault, but it rolled right past him, bouncing about halfway to him. And so it is 7-6 for LaSalle Prep with 10:57 on the clock in the first quarter. We'll take a look at the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. End of the first quarter, Falls City has a 24-6 lead over the Echo Cougars. So Hermiston at least gets their offense going with the pitch and catch from James to Gutierrez for 50 yards, but there's still a few things that are making me a little bit uneasy, Sonny.
Well, number one right there, Eric, we've said it all along. We have nothing to lose by Deshaun going ahead and trying to pick that ball up on the ground and trying to run it. They can't return it anyway, so might as well pick it up and try and advance it, maybe even get lucky enough to break it for two or even find a receiver since he can throw the football. They are really, again, the biggest thing I'm seeing out there right now is just the offensive and defensive lines of LaSalle are beating Hermiston to the punch.
Deshaun Neal to kick it away, and he will boot a high end-over-end kick taken at the 15-yard line. Brooks coming to the near sideline, 25. At the 30-yard line, he is pulled down, grabbing him by the left leg, and securing the tackle for Hermiston was Ramirez.
Nice job again. That's what we needed to have. We're starting to maybe get this thing going a little better, but, Hermiston's still giving up 15 yards on their returns. Now they got to get their defensive line. Whoever we have out there has got to get depth, seal the corners, and put pressure on this quarterback.
First down and 10. Menor in the backfield, a couple of steps behind Owens. In a pistol set, the quarterback slaps his hand together about 5 times. Now turns and hands off. Menor running up the middle. Caught from behind and rolled down to the turf by Cody Weisner. Weisner has become one of the starting defensive tackles for this Hermiston team. And twofold. One, it allows him to get some more time out there in his junior season. But two, it allows the starting offensive lineman to take fewer reps on the defensive side of the ball. Hermiston is starting Andrew James at the Superman position. Essentially right now he's a linebacker on this 2nd down and 7. High snap pulled down. Menor taking the handoff and hit immediately in the hole. And he is wrenched down and comes down awkwardly on his leg, and he might be in trouble. J.J. Menor came down awkwardly as he was tackled by Tyler Hunter in the hole.
Yeah, that one there, he was met right again there in the hole by Cody Weisner and Tyler Hunter both.
10:04 left in the second quarter, and the trainer out to check on the senior running back for LaSalle Prep. The Falcons lead 7-6. We'll take this opportunity to hear from our sponsors on AM 1360 KOHU. J.J. Maynard's been helped off to the sidelines. 3rd down and 8 facing the Falcons. Rolling to the right is Edgerly. Edgerly pump fakes. Now he'll pull the ball down and try to run. Runs right into Jonathan Hinkle after a gain of just a yard up to the 34-yard line. We check back behind the bench, and for LaSalle Prep, it's their head coach, Aaron Hazel, who's over there with his senior running back, and they are checking out the leg, and it was a tough, awkward fall for the tackle. Punt situation, and it is booted away on a run out of bounds on the far side. No, it checked back in towards the middle of the field, but it bounces and is picked up at the 32-yard line. That's where Hermiston's offense will take over off of the punt of Griffin Cardwell. Trailing 7-6 with 9:21 left in the first half. Bulldogs, a 50-yard pitch and catch between Andrew James and Joey Gutierrez on their last offensive play. For James, it was his 20th touchdown pass of the season, and for Joey Gutierrez, it was his 3rd touchdown catch this year. First down and 10 from the 31 is where they spot it. Andrew James with a back to his left. That's McCamey, quarterback keeper, running down the middle. James breaks across the 40-yard line and reaches up to the 41, in and out of the grasp of John Constam. The senior defensive back makes the tackle after a 9-yard gain.
Nice job that time on the read option of Andrew going ahead and seeing that the defensive end was looping outside. Saw the opportunity to go ahead and burn that inside linebacker.
2nd and inches for Hermiston. Andrew James has Jonathan Hinkle to his left shoulder at the 41-yard line. Jacob Levy to snap it. Will flip it back to James, looking to throw. In the pocket he stands. Now rolling out to the right. Extending to the near sideline. Throws it, caught, and out of bounds. Deshaun Neal spins himself at the 40-yard line, but the catch is good for 19 yards, and Hermiston will get into Falcons territory with the first down.
Nice job that time by Andrew of being able to go that even off the rush. He had to try and set his feet and set it up, but was able to get it just enough, and Deshaun come back for the first down.
8:38 left in the first half. 7-6 LaSalle Prep. Pistol set. Hinkle behind James. Option play. Toss to Hinkle. To the right side. Hinkle breaks one tackle at the 35. He breaks another. Barreling his way across the 30. Dragging defenders inside the 30-yard line.
Wow.
Down to the 28. Jonathan Hinkle goes an extra 7 yards after the initial contact. Dragging Cardwell among other Falcons for a Hermiston first down.
Somebody woke up, Eric. Somebody woke up. And that's including In a 4-wide set, and then tried to run the ball to no power side at all, which meant that they were running it into Weisner, and Weisner has been a beast out there already tonight, him and Hunter. So let's see what they do this time, if they come back out in that same setup or not.
Oregon City 29, Sunset 24 in the second quarter. It's a 6A playoff game. They're in their round of 32 on the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. Mountain View trail. No, now they're leading Milwaukee 3-0.
And there it is.
Go for it, and on the far sideline, no room to run.
Guess who?
And Andrew James is the one who makes the tackle.
Nice 4-yard drop of a loss that time on Owens, and like I said, they just turned the ball over on the 35-yard line. You can't do that with Hermiston.
So 5:04 left in the second quarter. Hermiston leading 12-7. And LaSalle Prep felt like they had to go for it on that 4th down and 1 from their 39-yard line. They end up losing 4 yards, and Hermiston's got it on the 35. Hinkle behind James. Now Hinkle will move up to the left shoulder of James. 3 receiver options right. James takes the snap, play action, throws left side. It is caught down the far sideline at the 10, the 5. It's a touchdown for Hermiston and into the end zone for the first time tonight. Yabani Razone.
That's awesome. Awesome job by Razone.
Oh, check that.
It was
Ramirez.
It was Ramirez, okay. The nice thing is Mark Hodges liked to do that. After a turnover, go for broke, and was able to hook it up.
So, bad snap, nothing on the first try. 2-point conversion fails on the second try. 2-point conversion again. James with Hinkle behind him. Play action. James rolling to the right. He's pressured. Throws it low for McCamey, and another 2-point conversion fails. 18-7 with 4:56 left in the second quarter. This is Bulldog football on AM 1360 KOHU. You mean who ran it? Who caught and ran it? 33.
I-C-T-O-R-Y.
Did you tell her she's a reporter?
I mean, I thought it was Razone.
Yeah, well, but Eric, he's got his leg on fully on ice and stretched completely out.
Oh, over.
Yeah.
What was that? 30 yards? 35 yards.
35.
Do you do exact yardage or do you round to like every 5?
Exact.
I wish I knew how to chant like that.
All right, after this one, .449 left in the first half. Hermiston now up 18-7 on the LaSalle Prep Falcons. It's been a little bit weird. First down and 10 for LaSalle Prep after their kick return gets them out to the 37-yard line. Juwan Lane goes to the right side, cuts back outside the hash marks, and is able to barrel his way all the way to the 47-yard line. It's almost a 10-yard gain on first down.
Andrew James again on the stop. Are they looking to see if it's a first down?
Yep, in fact, they want to move the chains over there. It's around the numbers, so it's halfway in between the sideline hash mark and the field right hash mark. So wasn't exactly perfect to eyeball. And in part, this just shows how close LaSalle Prep is. They're about a foot short of the first down.
Ooh. Somebody stepped on the chain. That's never good.
Scott Hammond, in his second year in charge of the defense, 7th year with the program, barking orders to this Bulldog team. They've had to mix and match here. Tyler Rorman is not feeling great tonight. He's one of the ones battling the bug. And then A.J. Tuia not available this evening. So Luke Walshley is manned up in a cornerback position on the near sideline on 2nd down and inches. Hand off to Lane, counter right, breaks one tackle, gets the first down yardage as he stretches out through the arms of Eric White to the 49-yard line. First down for LaSalle, who's down to one timeout left in the first half. 4:14 left in this second quarter. The ball just short of the midfield stripe. Owens with Lane to his right. The H-back, Schultz to the left. Hand off again to Lane. He's going to switch fields out to the right side, find some space out on the wing, and is pushed out of bounds across the 45 into Hermiston territory, down to the 44-yard line. A rush of 7. Andrew
James again on the hit that time, knocking him out of bounds. And, you know, that's something, again, Eric, we're not getting the seal on the corner again. And even off the misdirection or the double back, the play was designed to go ahead and come this way. He turned it back and went back to the right of Hermiston's defense.
So the senior, J.J. Minor, is out. His freshman brother, James, is in at running back. Running left, gets a couple, stopped at the 42-yard line, and short of the first down by 1. In there on the tackle, Cole Campbell for Hermiston. 3rd down and 1 for LaSalle Prep, and you got to figure they're in 4-down territory. If they go for it on their side of the 50 at Hermiston's 42-yard line, you got to figure they go for it here if they don't get it on 3rd down and 1. Lane back in to the right shoulder of Owens, who will now stand up, walk towards the line of scrimmage, and check to the sideline to get a new call. 3rd down and 1. Lane cuts back to his right. Lane caught in the backfield and dropped. Flag out on the play as Lane is pulled down at the line of scrimmage.
So we'll see. Peter Earl in on the stop for no gain that time. We'll see what the call is here.
It's going to be a face mask call.
During the play, personal foul, 15-yard face mask, number 23 on the defense, 15 yards from the end of the run, first down.
Scott Hammond's palms to the sky, cannot believe a 15-yard face mask happened on that play. And so for LaSalle Prep, it moves the ball all the way down to the 26-yard line in Hermiston territory. With 3:13 left in the second quarter, down 18-7. Falcons have put themselves in a pretty good position to get back to within one score. Lane to the left shoulder of Owens. Quarterback takes the snap, hands off to Lane. Stopped going right, and he's stuck, a loss of 2.
Looked like Bo Blake in on the stop and takes Lane for -2 there. Nice job by the left side of Hermiston's defensive line of snowing in and making him turn back.
The tempo is slowed a bit for LaSalle Prep. Lane behind this time. Play action. Owens rolling to his right. Backing up a little bit. Throws underneath. Incomplete. Just kind of short-armed the ball out to Riley McDonough, and it's incompletion to bring up 3rd down and 12. But at the 28-yard line, it is definitely 4-down territory.
Yeah, that time the coach is next to me. Definitely thought that they had a big gainer that time, and unfortunately, Ramirez was right there at where the pass was thrown into the ground, so he would have been right at the receiver.
3rd down and 12. Owens to throw. Deep ball, far sideline. Over the top, and Brooks has it. He ran right past the defensive back. It was stride for stride for Brooks and Razone. And Razone, for some reason, stopped, and Brooks went past him into the end zone from 28 yards out.
Wow, that was unreal there, but, you know, you can't stop in the middle of your pattern like that and expect that these kids are going to stop. And I don't know whether he thought the ball was out of bounds or whatever, but definitely had a lot of room left in play.
The kick is up and through for A.J. Blakely. And Hermiston's lead is down to 4 at 18-14 with 2:33 left in the second quarter. Get the latest information on your favorite high school teams at osaa.org. You'll find scores and schedules and official rankings for all member schools in all team sports. At osaa.org, you'll also find playoff brackets, broadcast schedules, and historic records. For more information, visit osaa.org today. AM 1360 KOHU Hermiston. Eric Olson and Sonny Levy with you from the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth. The OSAA, U.S. Bank, Les Schwab Tires 5A football state playoff round of 16. And down in Central Oregon, 3-0 Mountain View at the half, hosting 16th seed Milwaukee. The undefeated Cougars are in a battle here in their round of 16 game. The winner of that one will take on the winner of Thurston at Silverton. As we look through the rest of the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard, the rest of the 5A matchups look this way. Marist at Crescent Valley. Pendleton is down at Churchill. It is Crater and South Albany playing in Albany. The winner will play the winner of this one. Lebanon at Sandy and Bend is at Wilsonville, the champions of this Northwest Oregon Conference that LaSalle Prep comes out of.
Now, Eric, we're back in this little stuff, formation that they showed against Wilsonville to start their game off. This time, I don't think you're going to see the little pooch kick. I think they're going to try and knock it off one of our guys right up front.
It was an onside kick to start the game against Wilsonville a week ago. Now, that game ended up not going so well for LaSalle Prep, but at the start it went pretty well. Blakely to kick it away, and he will
pooch it.
Kick it deep. Gutierrez has it on the run at 25. Coming behind Neal, who's blocking for him at the 35, and that's where his forward progress is stopped. And Hermiston will take over the ball. 2 timeouts for them and 2:26 left into the second quarter. 18-14 is the Hermiston lead as the Bulldogs will take over offensively from the LaSalle Prep Falcons. And what we're going to do here, Reed, go ahead, sit down. You put that headset on, and I'll work you in here in between plays. Reed Middleton with Hermiston's ASB is going to join us. Before we get to the half here, it says good. We'll leave a little bit of speaking time for Hodges. Play action running to the right side on the read option. James will come out of bounds and got maybe a yard up to the 37-yard line. So Reed Middleton joins us, Hermiston ASB. A lot of stuff going on here in the month of November. Good evening. Welcome. Thanks for taking some time from the student section.
Yeah, thank you.
How is the student section tonight?
You know, it's doing all right. We're getting rowdy, getting loud, having a good time.
ASB, what did you guys do before the game tonight?
So for the game tonight, we had a tailgate, which is what we've been doing for the whole season, where all the students get together, listen to music, have some food. Tonight we had a nacho bar, and just kind of get hyped up, get ready to cheer on the Bulldogs at the home game.
2nd and 8. James the throw, far sideline, will complete it, and Neal is caught immediately down at the 41-yard line after a 4-yard gain. And this is just one of a number of things going on. So what is, for the month of November, you guys are doing something all month long, right?
Yep, we're doing No Shave November this month, which is a fundraiser for cancer awareness. So we have 6 teachers at our high school that are going to grow out their beards for the month and collect change, and whoever wins the most change gets to donate it to the cancer charity of their choice.
3rd down and 4 for Hermiston. James rolling to the right side from the 41-yard line. Deep ball near sideline for Neal, battling with Brooks. It's incomplete. Brooks and Neal battling down the near sideline.
Oh, my. You know, you can do certain things, but you definitely can't push off. And
I don't know. I'm fine if no flag comes out on that play, if it's always like that. But it seems like it's not always like that.
No. And that's the last thing you wanted Hermiston to do, is to go a 3 and out, Eric. We're going to leave them with a minute and some odd change left on the clock. And, you know, you needed to run this clock down.
4th down and 4 from the 41. Joey Gutierrez back at his 23 to punt the ball away. And it's Tay Brooks back to receive the kick. with 1:32 left of the first half. 18-14, the Hermiston lead. Snap to Gutierrez, gives him plenty of time, beats this one away, angled towards the LaSalle Prep sideline, and this one shanks off of the side of his foot and out of bounds towards the old fairgrounds. It will be good field position for LaSalle Prep at the 42-yard line is where they take back over. Sorry, so 6 teachers?
6 teachers.
Who are the 6 teachers, or victims, as it were?
Yeah, victims for sure. So Mr. Rorman, Mr. Scott, Mr. Silver, Mr. Gare Hughes, Mr. Creeder, and Mr. McClanahan this year are our victims for our no shave contest.
You didn't get Hodges into this no shave?
No,
thing?
sir, not this year.
He could have pulled some scruff out.
I'm sure.
Month.
I don't doubt it.
He's in here right now, so tell he's got a microphone. The ribbing is going to be very strong. First down and 10 for LaSalle Prep. Justin Owens with a back to his left, 2 receivers each way. He picks a low snap up, hands off to Lane, running right side. Lane puts his shoulder down and gets about 2 yards. So that was one of a couple of things you guys are doing in November. There's another fundraiser going on?
Yes. So this one's more of a donate items. Actually, we have a couple of those coming up. So right now, ASB is partnering with an Eagle Scout group to collect shoes for Haiti, and they're going to ship those over through November 30th. And there's a box to collect those near the front office, and we're really also encouraging the community to get in on that because we'd like to, be able to help out not only in our community but around the world as well.
The whistles you heard in the background, Hermiston had a defensive tackle jump, and so it'll be a 5-yard encroachment penalty to move the ball up to the 49 for LaSalle Prep, and with 1:19 left in the first half, it is 2nd down and 2 now from the 49-yard line. Reed Middleton with Hermiston's ASB is joining us here in the final couple of minutes of the second quarter, talking about some of the things they have going on in the month of November. Straight drop for Owens, looking to set up a screen, has it in Edgerly's hands in the middle of the field. Edgerly comes out to the left side. He's got some space at the 40, 35, 30, outside the numbers, and he's caught from behind by Andrew James, who frustratedly tosses him to the turf at the 28-yard line. Big gain for the LaSalle Prep Falcons, and they've got it back down inside the 30, and they will go no huddle here with 1:08 left in the first half. Trying to go quickly. Owens moves Lane up to his left shoulder. 2 receivers each way. And now whistles and a stoppage, and I believe a Hermiston timeout is going to be given before the play. No,
they didn't have the chain set on the far sideline.
Chains weren't set, so first down and 10 from the 28. Handoff to Lane. Lane up the middle, caught by Blake and down at the 25-yard line. Another thing you guys do is actually something that I do as well. We do the Toys for Trays when the basketball season starts, but you guys are also doing a toy drive. We'll talk about it here if we get a moment of breath between this second down play. Near sideline, throw for Owens for Brooks at the goal line, incomplete. All right. So what is ASB doing in their toy drive?
So the ASB toy drive is really us partnering with National Honor Society, as that's one of their service projects throughout the year. And during basketball season, we'll be collecting toys. As far as when the dates are, we're going to start putting those up in the next month or so and letting people know throughout the community as well as in our school when the toy drive will start.
The Falcons have a 3rd down and 7 from the 24-yard line, left hash mark set. Just 1 receiver in the formation, 3 in the backfield along with Owens. Everybody stands up, looks back over to the LaSalle Prep sideline on the far side to get the play. Hermiston showing blitz, they're going to bring a bunch. Owens flings one far sideline, lofted ball, tipped incomplete. Joey Gutierrez ran around it and knocked it out of the hands of the intended receiver, Ethan Edgerly.
Boy, I tell you what, Joey got himself in a position to knock that, but he also, if he could have brought that thing down, there was nobody that faced him between him and the Hermiston goal line.
So they will they're going to bring out the field goal crew and give A.J. Blakely a go at a 42-yard field goal. The right-footed kicker out of the hold of Riley McDonough. Left hash mark for him. 34 seconds left in the first half. Hermiston up by 4. The kick towards the right goalpost, not nearly enough. And it's going to be a turnover on the missed field goal with 29.3 seconds left in the first half, and Hermiston leading 18-14. Blakely angled it correctly, just didn't have nearly enough power. There's actually a guy down on the sidelines tonight that could have kicked that one with his eyes closed. Luis Medina of that 2014 state championship team is one of a number of former Bulldogs who are here at this first round playoff game. So the toy drive and the food drive that's going to go on in actually all the schools in the district. And then Reed Middleton with us with the Hermiston ASB. Let's get this first down and 10 play away. I want to ask about what's going on this weekend. James to throw over the middle to Neal. Goes up and catches it and across the 40-yard line. Has the ball. And Hermiston, well, the near side line judge was acting like they were going to call a timeout, but Hermiston wants to get on the ball. Clock is stopped with 24 seconds while the chains are moved. James, as the chains are run, will take the snap. He's going to throw again on this first down. Deep over the middle. Gutierrez has it at 40 into LaSalle Prep territory. Gutierrez fighting his way inside the 30, all the way down to the 25-yard line. With 11 seconds left, the clock is stopped. Hermiston, I think now, not right now, showing that they want their timeout. Now David Faitete will take his timeout. Give him a couple of plays probably here before half, leading 18-14. And Hermiston will actually have one timeout as well. Okay, so this weekend, what's going on?
Our ASB team is going down to Seaside this weekend for OASC Fall Conference, and that's a place where they get to really go and expand some leadership skills, as well as elect new state reps for the entire state of Oregon to lead us through the next year. And the really cool thing about that is that we have a gal from our leadership class, actually our vice president, Isel Tejeda Urenda, running for a position there, and so we're really pulling for her and pushing for her to get that position, because she's going to do great things for our state if she gets that.
Is there a long-term vision as you look for 6 more months or so, it's 7 more months in this school year, what you want to see happen with ASB here in this run out to the end of the school year?
Yeah, so this year we're really pushing student involvement. The last couple years have been good growing years for that. Our basketball games, we want to get more people going to that, as well as the rest of our winter sports, and just being able to get ASB out there more and making sure that all of our student body is involved instead of just a select few.
Play action by Andrew James on first down to 10. James will throw towards the end zone. It is tipped out of the hands of a defender as Hermiston ended up having their intended receiver, Jordan Ramirez, become a defensive back on that play to make sure there wasn't a pick in the end zone. Leaves 5.2 seconds left in the half from the 25-yard line, second down and 10. And Hermiston's just going to take another shot at the end zone. You'd be looking at something in the range of 42 yards or so, and it was outside of A.J. Blakely's range for LaSalle Prep 30 seconds ago on the game clock, and it's outside of the range of Deshaun Neal, so they're not going to try it. Neal and Brooks locked up on the outside. Andrew James going to face a 4-man rush. Plenty of time in the pocket. Deep ball to the end zone. Neal came inside. He's got it inside everybody. At the goal line, touchdown Hermiston. A 25-yard touchdown at the buzzer. And Hermiston will go into the locker room with a 2-score lead. How did Neal get that wide open?
Well, Andrew actually kind of, maybe underthrew it a little bit. And Deshaun adjusted, came inside on the throw, and just went up for a jump ball. Nice job by Deshaun Neal of making sure that when he saw that pass kind of going towards the center of the goalpost, adjusting quickly.
14th touchdown catch of the season for Deshaun Neal. He's got about 900 yards receiving. Deshaun Neal now the extra point. The kick is up, it is through, and it is halftime with Hermiston in front, 25-14. Neal from James at the buzzer. What a way to end the first half. Reed Middleton, we appreciate the time. Thanks for coming up. Don't be a stranger. Come back
Yes,
during
sir.
basketball season.
All
if you guys
right.
want to talk about something,
Okay.
bring Ryan along.
I will.
I know he'd like to come
I'd
up.
love to get on. For
And
sure.
yeah, we can do that too. And we will, when we come back, Mark Hodges, the head coach of the 2014 state champion Hermiston football team, will join us on the Tom Denchel Ford Country halftime show. That's after this 2-minute break. Hermiston at the half in front, 25-14 on AM 1360 KOHU. Thank you, Reed. No problem.
Yes.
Cole Campbell, Highland Hills Elementary. Htv Highland Hills Elementary School. Keaton McCamey, Rocky Heights Elementary School. Jordan Ramirez, Sunset Elementary. Cody Wisner, Ebner Elementary School. Bo Blake, West Park Elementary.
Tyler Hunter, Highland Hills Elementary School. Jose Wata, Sunset Elementary School.
Peter Earl, Highland Hills.
Chase Bradshaw, Desert View Elementary School.
AJ Fernandez, Sunset Stars.
Deshaun Neal, Highland Community Charter School. Go Cars.
Joey Gutierrez, D, Highland Hills Huskies.
Thomas McCullough, West Park Elementary. Go Wildcats.
Jacob Levy, home of the Desert View Coyotes.
Andrew James, Rocky Heights Elementary.
My name is Taylor Arnold, and I went to Rocky Heights Elementary School.
Tyler Rorman, Highland Hills Elementary School. Yvonne Ruzon, McNary Heights.
Jonathan Hinkle, Highland Hills Elementary. Garen Anderson, West Park Elementary School. Luke Walshley, Desert View Elementary. Cole Campbell, Highland Hills Elementary. AJ Tuya, Highland Hills Elementary School. Keaton McCamey, Rocky Heights Elementary School. Jordan Ramirez.
I can't think of too many games where I don't watch them that way, even on TV.
All right, well, so give us a little first half recap from the eyes of a coach.
Well, from the eyes of a coach, I think LaSalle really has some good-looking kids. They've got some nice-looking players. They've got size across the board. They've got speed. They got kids that can run and catch and tackle and play physical. But something happened strange there at the end of the first quarter. You could just see it. They just seemed like they started melting physically, and it's like they just lost steam. They lost their fight a little bit, and then they caught it back here toward the end of the second quarter. But as far as physicality, we're the far more physical team, and I think it's just as long as we mind our P's and Q's on our assignments, I think we can widen the lead here in the third quarter.
They had the injury to their senior starting quarterback, running back, J.J.
Right.
Menor.
Right.
What is the impact to a team, and how do you handle a sideline as a coach when you have somebody like that go down and you're not getting him back? Ethan Snow in the state championship game comes to mind.
Oh yeah, you always have a plan B, and that's exactly what happened with us in the state championship game. We had a plan B. We were ready to go in case somebody like Ethan went down or Carson Mortar was our other deep weapon, but in particular, it wasn't the effect offensively. It was the effect that it had on us defensively that caused our offensive game plan to morph into something different, and that was that we felt like we had to limit the number of opportunities and possessions in the second half because they had a good strong arm quarterback, Silverton did, and a good receiver. And Ethan was a great matchup, but once he went down, that matchup was a problem. And they started taking advantage of it, and then we were fortunate enough, Carson Mortar gets the interception down there in the first drive of the third quarter. And then we went to our 2-back, 2-wide set and said, okay, this is why we spent all summer in the weight room, and this is why we do things the way we do and the way we execute the running plays, the way we execute them. And we're going to go to work and show people that we're not just a spread team that can run around, but we're going to get physical with you and, as they say, punch you in the mouth. Everybody
talks about the drive.
Yeah.
It was – every play was essentially the same play. Sam Colbray did a lot of the running. Corey Adams did some of the running.
Right.
Was it really the same play over and over, like 14 times in a row?
No, it wasn't really the same play. I mean, we were comboing inside and outside zone, but we were giving them different looks. We were moving the H-backs around, the receivers around, and then really you could say it was, just 2 plays to the right and 2 plays to the left, but we always gave them a different look and made them align differently. And, we'd overload one side and make them create different angles. And so the play, seemingly, even though you're calling the same play, it becomes a different play because the angles are different now and the way the movement is, and that's the way a zone blocking offense goes.
People talk about the drive. I say it's the drives because that play is punishing. I mean, that drive is punishing.
Yeah.
But the finishing move is the play action touchdown on the next drive. That's where to me, that's where the game's over. That's where you got blue trophy coming.
Yeah, it's it's funny because the first person I think about, I think of 2 people. I saw my wife in the stands. She turned around and looked at me, and we knew it was done. We knew we had it at that moment. And then Mitch Sanders had the funniest reaction because he's an old coach, and old coaches have funny reactions. And he goes, I knew you'd pull out the dagger. You're such a dirty dog.
Mark Hodges with us here on the Tom Denchel Ford Country Halftime Show. Hermiston leading 25-14. Let's talk a little news, though, because there is something, it's not new, but it's kind of restructured, reorganized, and you're in that weight room after school working with athletes from across the board at Hermiston High School. What's the goal and kind of what is the program?
Well, it's just Dogs Boot Camp, and what it is, it presents a variety and different modes of training, different types of training, and just trying to create a well-rounded athlete, building some discipline and some toughness, get them ready for their seasons, because their seasons are coming up. They're going to be long. They're going to get beat up. They're going to get injured and those types of things. So we're trying to get them prepared for that. And so it's just a variety of training and different modalities that we're using. It's a cross between some Olympic lifting, but a lot of more things like CrossFit and that type of thing too, introducing some of those things like flipping tires and stuff like that, and doing pull-ups with towels, and just doing a lot of old school type of things, and cross them up a little bit, shock their systems, get them used to competing and compete within certain drills, like we'll see how fast we can flip the tires in 15 seconds, or see if we can flip them all the way around the track in a certain period of time. And so you turn it into a competition and get them thinking competitively and think about winning.
Is it designed so that it can have a value to a girl on the golf team and a boy on the lacrosse team and a girl on the swim team and a boy on the basketball team?
Absolutely. Every phase, without a doubt. We're going to hit every phase. I mean, we're talking core strength. You're talking about footwork, coordination, balance, and again, toughness. A lot of becoming physically tough is really becoming, what's between your ears and being willing to be tested mentally. And if you could do that, man, it's, there's your body can go a long ways if you can pass the mental test. And so that's a big part of it.
Kind of sounds like P90X Extreme.
yeah, it has some P90X, stuff in it. I wish I could say I'm that creative, I wouldn't say.
Oh no, I've watched you guys out there doing your stuff. You've got enough creativeness out there with those kids to make them have some fun while doing it.
Well, creativity is my middle name. We were the artists of the trick play here over and over again every year, as you saw us run all those fancy plays that we ran.
Me? Yeah. Tell me what trick play you ran in 7 years.
Well, let me see.
The fake punt.
The fake punt. There was the year of the
running.
The year of the rugby style punter.
Yeah, except it was interesting when that play call occurred out of your own end zone. What a brilliant call, Micah Mercer, one of a kind.
Ramon Contreras, right?
Ramon Contreras.
That was Ramon running.
Yeah,
that one out.
I mean, if anybody could have made the play, it was Ramon. But what was so funny is that it was tough because as I came down from the booth, and we were up, had such a commanding lead, and it was such a big night, and we were making a big statement as to who we were. It was just a huge night in every phase. And then when that play happened, I was just walked on the sideline. And normally, obviously, I'm going like, who did this? But when I saw the reaction of all the coaches and all the players as I walked onto the sideline, you could have, a pin could have dropped and you would have heard it right there on the sideline. It was hilarious just to see their faces. And I just started laughing at all of them, and then they started laughing, and then they knew, we're conference champs. So, I mean, hey, what can you say?
Mark Hodges with us here on the Tom Denchel Ford Country Halftime Show. 25-14, Hermiston at the half. Let me get you out of here on this. What are your thoughts on this is the farewell tour? This is the goodbye to Oregon and the OSAA. Joining the Mid-Columbia Conference and the WIAA next year. You're still helping out with the track and field program. You still have David's ear when he asked for some counsel. So you're in this Hermiston program. What do you think about this move?
I love it. I think it's exactly what the doctor ordered. I think it helps us in so many ways. It's first going to help us academically. It's going to keep kids in the building a lot more. I mean, we need them to attend school, and they need to be there, and they need to have those positive interactions and so on. And so we need them right here building that culture of school spirit and believing in what we're doing. So first and foremost, that's going to help us. Secondly, I think it's going to create some nice rivalries. I think we have some budding rivalries going, and you could even kind of see it because we had built it during the Tri-Cities camp and so on. We had gone up there and had some pretty physical battles with Kamike, and I mean when they came here in 2014, they knew us pretty well. We knew each other well, and it was two pretty physical teams getting after it. So I think that's going to be great. But I think the big thing, and I think my message would be to everyone is that we're really going to have to grow up because it's going to be a big challenge. And I think the community's really got to get behind the school. Not that they haven't, but I mean even more than what we have. I think we got to reach out. We got to reach out to more athletes to come in and be involved. We need numbers on the football team. I know David wants to play, a lot of kids one way and not two ways. So it's going to present opportunities. I think our youth leagues and our middle schools got to be restructured. I think the community with the leadership of Larry Usher can get behind Larry's vision of how to expand things and really make this thing fly. But we're going to have to all row in the same direction.
Yeah, a good example. I was up here during the 8th grade game briefly a couple of weeks ago, and somebody said there's 60 guys down there. And I said, it needs to be 100 to 120.
Yeah.
If there are 170 girls basketball players in the 8th grade, there needs to be 120 8th graders coming up to the high school level so that you get that to compete up there. The high school freshman program's probably got to have closer to 50 or 60 in it instead of 30.
Your numbers are right on, if not even more. I mean, that's the way the numbers need to look. And to me, a football program, the health of a football program, and the guys out there playing it is the measurement of the health of a community. I think it says a lot about what your community's doing and what their young men are doing and how they're spending their time and it represents a gentleman warrior type of mentality in your community, which is needed. And so the football program needs to flourish, and needs to be healthy, and needs to be nurtured, and it needs to have a ton of support. And so the whole community is going to have to get behind it and go, okay, we're all going to row in the same direction and believe in Coach Faitete and the program.
Coach Faitete and the program coming out from the locker room right now. Final minutes here of halftime. Hermiston in front 25-14. This was about half of what a chalk talk would have been when you were the head coach, but we appreciate you joining us.
Did we ever talk about football?
Every once in a blue moon, we'd put some football in there as well. But as ever, Mark, we appreciate it.
It's a pleasure, and it's an honor. You guys are professionals. You guys do a great job. Rain or shine. Thank you, guys.
You bet.
Rain or shine, dogs all the time. And it's the Tom Denchel Ford Country Halftime Show. We'll come back first half stats, second half kickoff here on AM 1360 KOHU. Thank you.
One thing I wanted to do was mention your boy, and I'm sorry I didn't do that, how proud of him I am, and how as a former Bulldog, and I'm sorry I didn't do that.
Oh, that's fine.
Next opportunity I get, I'll make sure I will.
come back next week. We'll be here. All right, but hey, he's still in San Diego, and just got his new
Games live on OSA.tv. It's your one-stop for all the high school championships throughout the year. Tune in to championship night to watch all the football state championship action. That's all on OSA.tv.
As A.J. Blakely has it teed to kick it away. All 11 guys inside the hash marks. Now they'll swing 2 out, 1 to each side, kind of his wings. Most of Hermiston is up within 10 yards. It'll be kicked deep at the 20-yard line. Joey Gutierrez moving to the middle of the field at 25 and slowed up at the 27 and snowed under by a bundle of white shirts. So Hermiston will have it at the 27-yard line. After that first quarter where they were held scoreless, Hermiston ends up finding the end zone 4 times. Andrew James on the ground and Andrew James in the air to Joey Gutierrez, Jordan Ramirez, and Deshaun Neal. James now at 22 touchdowns this season. First down and 10. Andrew will have Jonathan Hinkle standing to his left shoulder. 3 receivers to the right side in a bunch and a man alone to the right. James will hand off. It's Hinkle running to the right side. Hinkle at the edge, has a space at 35. Deal near sideline 40. Breaks a tackle at the 50. Stepped out of bounds. Trying to tightrope the sideline, and maybe Jack Constrom just gave him the bump he needed to push him out at the 45-yard line. It's making the 46 in LaSalle Prep territory.
27-yard pickup that time by Hinkle. And nice job for opening play that time, Eric. Look to see the little screen set up on the other side if they run this play one more time.
Ramirez, Gutierrez, and Neal to the left. First and 10, hard count, and every single Falcon on the defensive line jumped off sides. Did somebody move for Hermiston? No.
Yeah, they're looking to go ahead and try and get a little bit of early pressure on Andrew James that time, or Hinkle. And you're right, Eric. They had the whole defensive line and the linebackers coming.
First down and 5, up to the 41-yard line on the right hash mark. Same setup with Luke Walshley alone to the right. James slaps his hands together, puts it in the belly of Hinkle, running right side again. Out the edge at the 35, breaks a tackle at the 30, and he is stepping out of bounds. Scott Hammond cannot believe a face mask penalty wasn't thrown on the near sideline. And at the 29-yard line, they will say Hinkle stepped out of bounds, but it's another first down run. And Hermiston coming out hard with outside zone against this LaSalle Prep Falcon team. Can they wear them down? They've got way fewer guys going both ways than the Falcons do.
Well, and during the films you saw, they did not have very many interchangeable parts out there, Eric.
First down and 10 from the 29 in LaSalle Prep territory. Andrew James going to keep it running up the middle, spins off of a tackler, and he's caught from behind. Pulled down at the waist by the defensive tackle, Lucas Van Wagner. James, though, does get it down to the 24. It's a 5-yard gain. Not quite a minute into the third quarter. Hermiston on the opening drive of the second half, trying to add on to their 25-14 lead. Again, Neal, Gutierrez, and Ramirez to the left. Walshley alone to the right, short side of the field. Hinkle to the left side, put it in his arms again, running right. Hinkle puts his shoulder down, spins off of a tackler inside the 20 down near the 18-yard line. He has first down yardage, gaining 6 on the run.
Nice job, and Hinkle is just starting to go on there. The offensive line is starting to get a good push and move this ball, and Hinkle just at the very end, he's not going to be an easy takedown anytime soon, Eric.
So they said spot it just across the 20, and boy, that's not a good spot. It's third down in inches. Hinkle, a step behind James into his left shoulder, will take the handoff up the middle, hit in the hole, but he's able to fight his way through, and I think he got it across the 19 and got the first down yardage. Yes, he did. George Gillette points towards the east end zone, and Hermiston will move the chains. Good pressure there. Jordan Carnahan, the junior defensive tackle, got into the backfield, but he just wasn't able to stop Hinkle's forward momentum.
Yeah, once Hinkle gets his pad level low like he has been running, the whole second half this season, he's a hard guy to pull down, especially if you try and tackle him up high.
First down and 10 from the 19. To right, to left. Hinkle a step in front of James into his left shoulder. James takes a snap, looking to throw, pump fakes. Deep towards the left corner of the end zone, underthrown ball. It ends up flying all the way back there. There is a flag out on the play. And I think the fans were a little bit surprised that got back to Ramirez as well. But it is a holding penalty to bring it all back.
That's too bad. That was a nicely thrown ball. Actually, it was kind of underthrown but overthrown, but the defender never did turn around and take a look where the ball was at.
During the play, holding, offense, number 72, 10-yard spot foul. Still first down.
Unfortunately, for Andrew, that takes the play away and the touchdown away, but a 12-yard virtually ends up being a 12-yard, penalty. Look to see him go back that way again. Joey Gutierrez was wide open there towards the end of that toss. Look and see if he takes a look at Joey out there on the slot again.
At the 32-yard line, it is first down and 23. Bunch of three receivers to the left. James takes a snap, play action, moves right in the pocket. Now he'll pull it down and run with Hinkle in front of him, blocking, hit hard from behind, and James is pulled down at the 26-yard line. That was Tony Huynh, the senior defensive end, who has been, to be honest, kind of quiet tonight and probably came in as the most dangerous defender on the LaSalle Prep team.
But it shows you how fast he is. He is the right defensive end. He came all the way across the numbers that time and got Andrew right there about the 26-yard line on the numbers.
Empty backfield on 2nd down and 17 from the 26-yard line. James, quarterback draw right up the middle. James will put his shoulder down and roll across the 19-yard line, picking up 7 yards on the rush. And he's pulled down by Noah Schultz.
Yeah, here's the time, Eric. This is definitely 4-down territory for Hermiston.
Yeah, they've got two plays to get first down here. 3rd and 10 from the 19. Pistol set.
He's got the inside angle if he wants it.
Move Hinkle out of the backfield right. Look back to the left, underthrown on the screen play with Wynn in the lap of James. It's underthrown and incomplete.
Yeah, not much Andrew could do about that one other than try and lob it up, and that's just asking for a lot of trouble. You don't get that ball, up where you need it.
8:21 left in the third quarter, 25-14 the Hermiston lead, trying to convert a 4th down and 10 from the 19-yard line. Hermiston converted a 25-yard touchdown pass to Deshaun Neal at the buzzer at halftime to take the 2-score lead into the locker room. Empty backfield for James, looking left, steps up in the pocket, throws over the middle, tipped into the air off of Neal's hands and just too far for Hinkle, incomplete.
That was right in Deshaun's hands. Should have had that one probably for 6, if not 6, right around the 4-yard line to be tackled. That was a well-thrown pass by Andrew.
Turnover on downs, and LaSalle Prep's going to get the ball with 8:16 left in the third quarter, trailing 25-14. Last update we had, halftime at Falls City, Echo was down 42-12 on the Dan's West Coast Auto Class scoreboard. Justin Owens turns and hands off to Lane. Juwan Lane, the sophomore, across the 20 in the middle of the field to the 22-yard line. He will get before he's pulled down by McCamey and Weisner. Mountain View still a 3-0 lead for them. About the same spot as we're at in the third quarter. Just under 8 minutes remaining. Ontario beat Banks 41-40. How about that score? Lane running out to the right side, far sideline, gets around one defender and is able to dive forward, gaining about a yard up to the 23-yard line. For the Falcons, though, it is a frustrating end for J.J. Maynor, who got hurt in the first half, and he is on the sideline back in his street clothes and on crutches. A leg injury in that first half, got tackled by Weisner on a running play. 3rd down and 7 for the Falcons. Owens, toss play to the left side. Brooks has it, trying to get to the edge. Brooks is slowed up and then pulled down. Finished off by Luke Walshley, but it was James and McCamey who were able to slow Tay Brooks up and force the 4th down after a 1-yard gain. 4th down and 5 facing the Falcons, and their punt team will come out.
Nice job that time. Hermiston, let's go ahead and see if we can go ahead and field this thing out here.
The punt is to the near sideline and short. It will kick off of a LaSalle Prep Falcon around the 49-yard line, and that's where Hermiston will have it. And now they're having a bit of discussion of who it hit off of.
It hit off the LaSalle Prep heel, and before it hit the Hermiston defender.
It is going to be Hermiston's ball, as it should be.
Yeah,
It kicked off of the leg of Schluntz.
Yeah.
By the way, I've had trouble with Noah Schluntz's name tonight, and now I think I'm dialed in.
Yeah, once it hit him, the ball was dead, and it didn't matter if it hit off the Hermiston player's heel at all.
First down and 10 from the 48 is where Hermiston has it, just short of midfield, leading 25-14 with 6:23 left. Handoff to Earl running right. Earl's caught in the backfield, and that was a good play by Shaq Saeed Jonoff to come from the right defensive end and get there to stop Earl for no gain.
Yeah, that's Earl's second rush, no yards on the night, and, they just need to power this thing right up through the middle, shorten the clock with the run game.
Second down and 10, still 2 yards short of the 50. James slaps his hands together. Quick throw near sideline. Neal has it in the flat. Neal is closed out quickly by Tay Brooks, and maybe a gain of a yard on the play. Tay Brooks is doing his job to slow up Deshaun Neal the best he can. Neal has gotten free. He's gotten into the end zone tonight. It's third down and just inside of 10 yards to go. McCamey and Ramirez to the left. Neal right along with Walshley. Hinkle is to the left shoulder of James. Junior quarterback takes a snap. Look at it throw. Deep ball over the middle. Incomplete. Came out of the hand. Wobbly looking for Ramirez. Fourth down and long for Hermiston.
Odd first two series for Hermiston, and their first series of running the ball and dominating on the run, and then coming out and throwing a short run for nothing and changing up what they're doing. I just would have stayed with the power run.
Fourth down and effectively 9 from the 49. Joey Gutierrez, a high snap to him. He's able to pull it down and get the kick away. Tay Brooks is back, ways for a fair catch at the 25 is where he will take it.
Oh, good spot there.
5-0. I don't even want to talk about that spot. 5:01 left in the third quarter, 25-14. It's not an over and back call. Basketball season's still a month away. It's 1 yard, it's 3 feet, but it's just silly. Silly, I tell you. LaSalle Prep back out on the field, down by 2 scores. 5:01 left in the third quarter. Owen slaps his hands together, looks to throw quickly, lobs it to Lane in the right flat. Lane, the sophomore, running back across the 30 up near the 31-yard line, where he's pulled down by Joey Gutierrez and friends. Looks like that was Taylor Arnold who got out there. LaSalle Prep going quickly after the 5-yard gain. Second down and 5 to go from the 32-yard line. Owens now will stand up, walk towards the line of scrimmage, look to get signals from the far sideline, move Lane to his right shoulder, take the snap and put it in Lane's belly, running left. Lane caught from behind and thrown down immediately. It was another big play in the middle by Cody Weisner.
Yeah, Weisner just playing, being a beast there, keeping him to no yards on the gain that time for Lane.
Cody Weisner is making a strong case for the Delish Bistro player of the game, which we'll decide after this thing's over. 4 minutes left in the third quarter. 25-14 Hermiston. Owens on third down and 6. Moves Brooks left to right across the formation. 2 wide right side now, and Owens is going to roll that way. To throw, lobs it downfield. Brooks has it, shoved out of bounds across the 40 to the 42. A 10-yard gain and a first down for the Falcons.
Joey Gutierrez on the hit that time on the sideline to force them out of bounds. Did a very good job that time of coverage, just may have given them a little bit too much yardage.
Little bit of a pause here before this first down and 10 play. Owens again will motion Brooks out of the backfield, out to the right side. Handoff, Lane running left. Lane breaks 1 tackle but loses yardage back to the 40-yard line. McCamey slowed him up, and Earl and Hinkle finished him off for the loss of 2. Wow, end of 3 quarters in Central Oregon. On the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard, 3-0 still. Mountain View is in front, albeit by nail-biting proportions. Second down and long. Toss play. Brooks running right side. Brooks on the edge. He breaks away from one tackler and another. Switching the field, coming to the near sideline now. And Andrew James is able to pull him down along with Deshaun Neal. Ends up being about 40 yards of running and no gain.
You got to like that one. You know, you run forever and you get a 1-yard pickup out of it.
2:45 left in the third quarter. Hermiston's lead is 11. Brooks near sideline with Pisadeski. 2 receivers right for Owens. To throw. Owens pressured on the backside by McCammon. Throws over the middle. Picked up by Gutierrez at the 45. Joey's whirring out to the far sideline at the 40. Breaks a tackle. Joey's going to get slowed up and thrown down at the 37-yard line. It's a return of 8 yards and an interception for Hermiston's defensive back, Joey Gutierrez.
That's his third in the last 3 games. Eric just did a great job picking that off, and he read that all the way. He was looking for number 3 out there, and Gutierrez stepped in front for 8 yards.
It is his 6th interception this season. And he's got his return total now up above 90 yards. Joey is a 3-year guy on the defensive side of the ball. And in his career, he has taken the ball away now 11 interceptions. David Faitete is going to call a timeout before this first down play after the interception. 2:21 left in the third quarter. Hermiston 25-14. We'll take the break here on AM 1360 KOHU.
Oh, he's got the block.
First down play. Jonathan Hinkle switches field. Far sideline, the 20. Breaks another tackle inside the 15. It was supposed to be a toss play right, and LaSalle Prep had it defended great. And then Hinkle just switched the field and had Andrew James lead blocking. Ends up being a big gainer for Hermiston.
24-yard pickup again, and second week in a row, Andrew makes a great block after the pitch.
First down and 10 from the 13. 2:09 left in the third quarter. Hermiston up by 11. Looking to add on to that. Hinkle to the right shoulder now of James. 3 receiver options that way. It'll be an option play right, and James keeps it running right up the middle. Bursts through the first level and gets to the 10-yard line. Finally ends up popping out at the end of the play from all the defenders who were holding him up. Forward progress, though, is called stopped. And it's a 3-yard gain. Second down and 7. Hermiston would feel a lot more comfortable with another score and a 3-score lead. Razone alone to the left. Couple to the right, 2 in the backfield with James, who will hand off to Hinkle right down Broadway. Big hole. Hinkle runs right over the top of a linebacker, and he's in.
Wow.
10-yard run for Jonathan Hinkle. And through a LaSalle Prep Falcon.
That was right through. That was a beast mode. That's the way he's been running the last couple of weeks, or actually for the last 5 weeks, Eric. He has just turned it on.
Deshaun Neal for the extra point. Out of the hold of Jordan Ramirez. Snap is through Ramirez's hands, picked up by Neal. Now Neal scrambling around. He's going to be tough to get down. Lobbed it to the corner of the end zone. Caught. 2-point conversion is good. And it was Kyler McCamey who catches the 2-point conversion. 33-14 Hermiston after that conversion. 1:24 left in the third. We'll be back after this on AM 1360 KOHU. Deshaun Neal got his foot into that one. Ethan Erdgerly at the 2-yard line, coming out to the far sideline, 15-20. Keeps his feet and bobbles away from another tackler. Still up, and now he's going to be slowed up, and his forward progress is stopped at the 27-yard line. 25-yard return for Ethan Erdgerly after a good kick from Neal. Deshaun Neal just completed his first pass since his sophomore year. Before he got the injury that kept him out of the second half of his sophomore year, he was 36 of 74 for 410 yards, 3 touchdowns, and an interception. He threw one pass last year on a failed double pass try. He had not thrown one this year until just now on that 2-point conversion. So Deshaun Neal's 2-point conversion helps Hermiston go in front 33-14. 1:11 left in the third quarter. Justin Owens will fake a handoff, running to the right side. No, it's Erdgerly, and Erdgerly stopped for a loss.
Hinkle.
Back to the 26-yard line by Jonathan Hinkle. And the read option doesn't work for Ethan Erdgerly, who's switched back and forth occasionally with Justin Owens at quarterback. Owens is back out there to run the series now at 2nd and 11.
Now that was White, Eric. Excuse me, that was White on the play for the tackle.
Owens takes a low snap, picks it up and hands to Erdgerly. Sweep play to the right side. Erdgerly out on the edge, is slowed up and flung out of bounds into his own bench just across the 30-yard line. About a 5-yard gain, it looks like. Give him 6, and a 3rd down and a 6 facing the Falcons. They have not been able to get anything going offensively in the second half, and really, since Tay Brooks had his 28-yard touchdown reception with 3 minutes left in the second quarter. In trouble, Owens scrambles out of the pocket, got in trouble, flings it to the far sideline. A flag comes out on the play.
Now what's going to go on
Well,
there?
so now all the Hermiston fans are concerned, and now it's a question of whether or not it's intentional grounding or not, and I think they're going to pick up this. Yeah.
Wow.
No, that's correct.
Yeah,
That's correct. That was a good decision, and he did right by throwing the flag out there quickly and then checking with everybody. 4th down, and now to punt it away off of the foot. It's a wobbly one from Cardwell, picked up by Neal. Neal at the 40, and he will give himself up out of bounds just across the 40-yard line. Around the 42-yard line is where Hermiston will have it. 14 seconds left in the third quarter, leading 33-14.
Eric, there's a huge difference right there. You see it where he'll come up and field that football. Instead of giving it another 10, 20 yards of roll that time, he was able to pick up the 8 yards positive, at least give us a shorter field to go.
Andrew James has Peter Earl in the backfield with him. 2 receivers each way on this 1st down and 10 from the 42. James, read option, and James keeps it, bursts out of the pile and across the 50 down into LaSalle Prep territory to the 45-yard line. Runs for 13. He kept the ball in Earl's belly, and they ran together until James decided it was his.
Yeah, anytime you can make him, the linebacker made the commitment. They actually tackled, Earl coming into the ball, and James was able to go ahead and pull it out and go.
End of the 3rd quarter. Hermiston 33, LaSalle Prep 14. 4th quarter next on AM 1360 KOHU Hermiston. What am I missing? I'm missing a touchdown in the
ours?
In the 3rd quarter. Oh no, I know what I did. I Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. It will not be another historic run for Stanfield. The Tigers unfortunately lose 48-0 at Monroe Triangle Lake tonight. 4th quarter starts. Hermiston, a handoff to Peter Earl. Earl breaks 1 tackle, and then up near the 40-yard line, it becomes a rugby scrum. 5-yard gain for Earl. LaSalle Prep at the end of the play after forward progress was stopped for an hour or so. Nick Vidan says, I took it away from him.
Give him a 6-yard pickup that time. That was good hard running by Earl that time on his 3rd rush of the night.
Wow, if I'm going to complain about spots of the ball, I'll complain both ways.
Yeah, that was a good positive spot for us. First one we've had in a long time.
2nd down and for high snap and handoff.
Ooh.
Right side run. That was, I believe, Miguel Franco.
I think it was Earl again. And
yeah, it was Earl.
And he got lit up.
Minute gone in the 4th quarter. Hermiston 33, LaSalle Prep 14. And Hermiston now, they're in a position where it does behoove them to slow this down. Boy, there is a wild game going on down at Mountain View. 3rd down and about 4. Andrew James will keep it, breaks a tackle, gets up near the 35, took some punishment, might have given some as well. And I think he's going to be stopped. They might have to even stretch the chains depending on where the ball is spotted.
Well, they made up that spot that time. They came back with about a half a yard. That's going to be a 4th down on it.
So it is still Mountain View 3, Milwaukee nothing. And they're inside of 2 minutes left in the game.
Wow. Well, that's the one thing about Mountain View. They don't pass very often. And if their running game's not really moving, that's going to make a really slow game for them.
4th down and inches. Hinkle down Broadway. Hinkle gets the 1st down. It just seemed very unlikely that there was going to be anybody who was going to stop him. And he ran right through Casey Green, the outside linebacker, for a 2-yard gain. In fact, LaSalle Prep ends up with somebody down. I don't think it's Green down on that play. But maybe it is. But it was just a punishing run there by Hinkle. 33-14 for Hermiston in the fourth quarter. They will come out and check on the injured Falcon. The Falcons have already lost their starting running back, J.J. Menord, tonight. And now another player down. And while they check on him, why don't we'll tell you this. U.S. Bank teams together to support its customers and communities. They are pleased to champion athletic and activity-based programs that enrich the quality of life for everyone. You can count on every U.S. banker to serve you and cheer on the spirit of teamwork. U.S. Bank is proud to support the Oregon School Activities Association. U.S. Bank, equal housing lender, member FDIC. OSAA, U.S. Bank, Les Schwab Tires 5A football state championship bracket opens up tonight with a round of 16. Hermiston hosting LaSalle Prep. The winner will play the winner of Crater and South Albany. They're playing in Albany tonight. It is the cross-country state championships in Eugene tomorrow on the Lane Community College course. The Hermiston girls are one of 13 teams that are going to be vying for the Big Blue Trophy. Troy Blackburn's program also sent the district boys champion Isaac Sanchez and his teammate Emmanuel Ibarra to represent Hermiston in Eugene this weekend in the 5A boys race. Small school boys race, Hepner's Hunter Nichols, who finished 5th last weekend in Pendleton at the Mackay Creek racetrack, punched his ticket to the state championship race, which is also tomorrow. Tomorrow afternoon at 2 o'clock at Bend High School, where it's about 28 degrees right now, Hermiston's boys soccer team will have a quarterfinal against Bend. Play action. James for the end zone. Yabani Razone's behind everybody. He's into the end zone. They lost Razone, and he is into the end zone to put a
This cornerback on this side was sold on the play action pass, and Razone was 15 yards behind the nearest tackler out there.
10:08 left in the fourth quarter. Deshaun Neal to put the exclamation point on another Andrew James touchdown pass, his 4th of the night. Snaps there this time. Kick is up. It is through. 40-14 Hermiston. It's been all Bulldogs in the second half. 10 minutes and a little bit of change left here in the ball game on AM 1360 KOHU. How far was that?
33.
From the Old West Federal Credit Union broadcast booth, Eric Olson and Sonny Leby with you on AM 1360 KOHU. Bulldogs 40, LaSalle Prep 14. Kickoff is a squibber, picked up at the 30-yard line by Chris Bianca. Bianca to the near sideline, gets to the 36-yard line where he is pulled down to the turf. And the tackle on the play for Adrian Mendez. So if you are LaSalle Prep, haven't got anything going here in the second half, you open it up a little bit, maybe just kind of fling the ball a few times and see if Justin Owens can hit somebody deep like he did in the second quarter when he found Tay Brooks for the 28-yard touchdown.
You probably have to use anything or any trick plays that they might have right now to try and cross Hermiston up, just to try and get a quick score.
Juwan Lane in the backfield along with Owens. Owens looking to throw. Owens pressured. Owens down. Sack. And Hermiston finally gets to Owens, and it
Fernandez, it looks like.
No, it wasn't it.
34.
Yeah, it was Adrian Mendez who just made the tackle on the special teams play. He got to stay in there. Hermiston's starting to rotate some guys in defensively. Eric White on the near side defense end. Mendez on the other side. Second down and a 17. Throw left side incomplete. Trying to hit into the flat. Ethan Edgerly. 9:31 left in regulation. 40-14. Hermiston leading the LaSalle Prep Falcons. And the game is starting to take the same or at least similar complexion to the one last week of the Roundup grounds. Hermiston just too much in the second half. Owens straight drop to throw. Near sideline on a route. Brooks has it, and Brooks will step out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Little comeback route, and Brooks hit the hitch and found himself a little bit of space with Jordan Ramirez. He's walking a little bit gingerly. Hermiston's been thinned a little bit here tonight by some bumps and some bruises and some stomach flu. 4th down and 4. They've got to go for it. Screenplay. Lobbed over the air, picked off by Earl. Peter Earl is wrestled down. Edgerly gets 2 points for the takedown. Earl, as Owens was going down, he just kind of desperation flung one up. I don't hold it against him, and Earl is just in the right place. He was in the right place to defend the screen is the most important part, and Hermiston's got the ball in the 30.
Yeah, Tyler Hunter just absolutely go in for the hurry and make that pass come up for Hermiston.
First down and 10 from the 30-yard line in Hermiston territory. Walshley, one-on-one to the left. Neal to the right. Handoff, Hinkle running right side. Gets out to the edge. Now he'll slow up at the hash marks. It is pulled down. Out there on that wing by Griffin Cardwell. 2-yard gain.
Uh-oh.
And we've got an injury on the Hermiston side of things.
I think it's a
and
cramp.
It's
a cramp.
This is Jonathan Hinkle, who's down right now, and Dan Emery is out quickly to check on him. Hinkle slams his right fist into the field turf here at Kennison Field on Bulldog Stadium. Hermiston up 40-14 in this OSAA US Bank Les Schwab Tires 5A football state championship game, the round of 16. If the result holds and it's starting to feel a lot more comfortable for Hermiston, the Bulldogs would host next week whoever wins the game between Crater and South Albany, taking place in Albany tonight. Hinkle is up. Hinkle under his own power is walking, hobbling a little bit over to the near sideline. Dan Emery talking to him about the value of potassium in a banana, the things that Gatorade can do.
You know, Eric, it's not so much right now when that cramp hurts so bad. It's when
I know,
you're
I'm
in
just
the middle.
making jokes.
But when you're in the middle of your bed at night sleeping and you wake up and your leg won't straighten out again.
I don't even have to play a football game for that to happen. 2nd down and 9. James back to his right. He will hand it off. It's Deshaun Neal running near sideline. Neal weaving through defenders. Slips past another and is pulled down at the 21-yard line. We have a final on the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard from Fall City. It is Fall City 58, Echo 20. The Echo Cougars' season comes to an end at the hands of Fall City in the first round of the 1A playoffs. Good run, though, for the Echo team this season. 3rd down and 1 for Hermiston. 8:12 left in the 4th quarter. And Neal again is in the backfield. Takes a handoff, running left. Neal weaving to the near sideline. Stepped out of bounds. Shepherded out at the 9-yard line by Dominique Pisaneski. Enough, though, for a first down, and it's 1st and goal for Hermiston. But with Jonathan Hinkle over here stretching, the international symbol for calf cramp. It's James and Neal in the backfield. The last two Hermiston quarterbacks. Direct snap to Neal. Running right down the middle. He'll get inside the 5-yard line and is pulled down by Schluntz, who jumped on his back after Neal ran for about 5 down to the 4-yard line. Tail of the ball on the 4, left hash mark set. Final 7:40 in regulation. Neal and James, and Falcons trying to find a way to stop him. It'll be James to keep it this time running left. James will hit a pile of white shirts. Second effort to the goal line. They'll say just out. Inside the 1, and Hermiston will, with a little less than 7 minutes left in this game, snap a ball on 3rd down and goal from the half-yard line. No, cut off this commercial right now. 3rd down and goal from inside the 1. Neal and James in the backfield. Neal hands it to James. He drops it. James picks it back up. Coming near sideline. He's into the end. When it rains, it pours, and it's a downpour on the Falcons now.
Wow, that's what you call the luck of the bounce, and Andrew being right there. And there's no way that anybody was unlucky for Deshaun because he gets credit for a fumble. But luckily for Andrew, a fumble recover for a touchdown.
It's the first fumble of the night for Hermiston. They haven't had a turnover this evening. And now Neal for the extra point. PAT is good. And it's 47-14 with 6:38 left in the 4th quarter. Now we'll take that break at AM 1360 KOHU. This is not how it ends. 6 minutes and 38 seconds left in regulation. 47-14, Hermiston in front. Deshaun Neal to kick it towards the west end zone. Low line drive. Screamer through Edgerly's hands. It's going to bounce, and Edgerly will pick it up in the end zone. Wow. Touchback. And LaSalle Prep will have it on the 20-yard line.
First touchback of the year, Eric.
It's, again, I made the joke to somebody. Oh, I went into to the Bulldog. What was the lift thing that Mark Hodges, what was the name of, whatever Mark Hodges was talking about at halftime, where he does the after-school lifting program. I went in and talked to him yesterday, and one of the things I said was, hey, Deshaun's doing fine with point-after attempts, but Luis Medina is not walking through that door. There's no long field goal, and there's nothing touchback after touchback coming. Long throw over the middle. Brooks down the seam, has it inside the 50, breaks a tackle. Brooks at the 40, comes back to his left and is pulled down at the 35-yard line. He will be tackled
Gutierrez
by, that was Ramirez.
I believe it was Gutierrez got the he missed the first time.
Oh, no, it was Razone. Razone got it. It was 13. 34-yard line, first down and 10. Handoff to Lane, running left. Lane outside the numbers, dives forward across the 30-yard line, down near the 27-yard line. By the way, Tay Brooks is the guy who's not supposed to come open on that play before. Second down and 3. Low snap and whistles and...
Dead ball. Snap and fraction. Center.
Oh, false start. Okay.
Still taking it down.
Mr. Gillette decided no flag was necessary on that play.
Yeah, he not even a whistle either.
I was going to say, I don't even know that the whistle blew there, but everybody seemed to half stop, or maybe it was a soft whistle. 5 yards back means second down and 8 from the 38. Left hash mark. Owens to throw. Far sideline, he will rifle it. Brooks catches it, got past Razone, and is able to tightrope down to the 13-yard line, but steps out of bounds there. With 5:42 left in the fourth quarter, LaSalle Prep, who has been scoreless in the second half, down near the 13-yard line. Handoff, Lane running near sideline. Lane will turn it upfield and is caught and pulled down by Taylor Arnold. 6'5", 205 at a senior. Plays on the defensive side of the ball a bit, but he's the starting right tackle. And Rick Wells has talked about it. If Taylor Arnold, if he could put weight on that frame, he'd be playing college football next year. He's one of the most talented offensive linemen that Hermiston has. Second down and 9, and Owens will flip it into the left to flat for Pisaneski. Pisaneski to the outside, and he's shoved out of bounds around the 4-yard line by Razone. Short of the first down he needed. 5:02 left in the fourth quarter, 47-14. Falcons trying to get back on the scoreboard. Owens in a pistol set with Lane behind him. Flag out from the far sideline on third down and 1. Encroachment on Hermiston means half the distance to the goal to the 2-ish and first down and goal. Lane to the right shoulder of Owens. Owens slaps his hands together, looks to throw over the middle, slant play, caught. Brooks has the touchdown. Tay Brooks got inside leverage on Razone, and LaSalle Prep has their first score of the second half. 4:50 left on the clock. The extra point attempt from A.J. Blakely is up. It is true. And it's 47-21 with 4:50 left in the fourth quarter. Hermiston still in a comfortable position with the big lead here and looking to be on the way to a quarterfinal appearance. And when you start to look at the history of things, there's the famous 2002 season where Hermiston upsets David Faitete and Mark Hodges' North Medford team here in Hermiston. I would say on this Kennison field, but it's surely not this Kennison field.
No.
I have almost repressed all of old Kennison out of my memory banks at this point, other than our booth and the shouting match with Bend in my first year.
Yeah.
And
that was a classic, though.
No, that is maybe for you.
I wasn't involved. I was just kind of,
right.
I was kind of the buffer.
Yeah. So that quarterfinal, there's Mark Hodges' first year, the quarterfinals in 2008, the infamous block in the back, pick up the flag play.
Yeah.
And then a 2014 state championship run. Blakely chips one, and at the 40-yard line, Hermiston will just fall on it.
Smart play there.
Tyler
Smart.
Rorman out there
Get the hands guys out there. Smart play. The only thing Tyler could have done was maybe gotten about 5 yards out of it, but he would have absolutely paid the price. But you wanted to go ahead and make sure you secured it. We're in good field position right now with a short field. All Hermiston has to do is go 450 and tie this one up.
And looks like Hermiston wants to take a timeout here with 4:50 left. Leading 47-21. This is their second timeout, so they will have one left. Look, it's no secret. If you look at the bracket, it looks good. 11th seed Crater, they've got incredibly young quarterbacks, 2 of them. South Albany has been a weird team. Kind of a 500-ish team, but they've upset some great teams in the Mid-Willamette Conference. They won, essentially. They're the number 1 seed out of that conference because they beat Crescent Valley last week, who had to play without the top player in 5A football. Lebanon and Sandy in the bottom half of the bracket. They'll take on the winner of Bend and Wilsonville. I always take what's posted on Oregon Live with a grain of salt just because the scores could be... for instance, the score on Oregon Live says Hermiston 33, LaSalle Prep 14, so you just never know. But right now, what we think we know, as this first down play comes, Andrew James running an option, changes the field. Now he will slide and give himself up at the 39-yard line, lose a yard on the play. And it looks like LaSalle Prep's going to call a timeout. So what do we know? Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. Here are the scores that are posted. There is already an upset brewing. Lebanon 22, Sandy 6. I'm not sure that's actually an upset. Lebanon is the defending 5A state champion. Crater and South Albany are knotted at 7 in the last score that was posted. Churchill 21, Pendleton 0. That was the score in the second quarter. Haven't seen an update from that. Silverton 31, Thurston 14. That's another potential upset, even though Silverton's the home team. Thurston has looked good this year, we thought. And then they've got to be close to done. This incredible Milwaukee Mountain View game down in Central Oregon. By the way, you look at the kind of low-scoring 5A other than this game, and then you see this. Richland 62, Meade 7. There are some things about next year that are a little bit not sure about. Second down and 11. And the handoff goes nowhere. Peter Earl was snowed under for no gain, and another timeout for LaSalle Prep. With 4:36 left in the fourth, 47-21 is the scoreline. Also, are they playing football still, or did they start a month early?
Basketball.
Oregon City 61, wow. Sunset 57. There's still 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter, Sonny. That score is going to end with both teams in the 80s.
Well, Joe just had it in an offensive struggle. They were talking about that Crater and South Albany score. There's an offensive struggle also. No, they're just, that's all it is offense.
7-on-7 game going on there. They just had an 88-yard touchdown on a kickoff. That was the most recent score.
Wow.
Well, it's got to be. It's over. Mountain View 3, Milwaukee nothing. Wow. Third down and 11. James, hands off to Neal. Sweep play running left. Neal to the edge, and Neal will just come out of bounds right around the 42-yard line. Gained about 3 on the play. The problem with this drive is Hermiston doesn't take any time off the clock. What else do we know? We know Silverton won the game now. So Silverton beats Thurston. Mountain View a 3-0 win over Milwaukee. First couple of teams through in this 5A bracket. Thurston lost to Silverton and Silverton. 31-14. Joey Gutierrez to punt it away. High kick to the near sideline. Brooks will let it bounce at the 31, and it spins backwards out of bounds with 4:23 left in the fourth. 47-21 Hermiston. And it will be LaSalle Prep with the ball at the 32-yard line. Lebanon 22, Sandy 6 is a final score. So the 5A bracket is starting to fill itself out on the Dan's West Coast Auto Glass scoreboard. In 1A, number 1 seed Triad 70 to Yoncala's 22. Camas Valley beats Cove 42-6. Falls City, as we said, beat Echo 58-20. More coming after this first down and 10. Owens turns and hands. Lane running left. Lane trying to stretch it out to the edge. The sophomore is pushed out of bounds. Just got back across the line of scrimmage.
Peter Earl on the push that time to get him out of bounds.
Adrian 30, Sherman County 14. That's a final. Dufur 72, Lowell nada. Dufur will host Adrian next week. Falls City is in Camas Valley. Second down and 10. Owens looking to throw. Now steps up in the pocket. Trouble! Sack. It was Chase Bradshaw, the beneficiary of Owens stepping into a phone booth with no door. 4 minutes left. Get a couple of scores coming in here as well. Most recent update, 41-7, Churchill over Pendleton. Crescent Valley crushing Marist, 42-0. Third down and 14. Looking left, Owens, time in the pocket. Hit as he throws, incomplete. Flag out. Came from the umpire. So we'll have to check on the marker. Holding on LaSalle Prep, I got to imagine that's declined.
Yeah, that's great pressure by White. That's the difference in having him back, Eric, where he can go ahead and speed and power rush because he's a strong young kid. I won't say young, he's a senior, but it's good to have him back. It changes things up.
The seniors are still young. 3A score, Scio 68, Lakeview 31. They took the holding. So they will take the holding and give them another third down with 3:36 left. Hermiston up, 47-21. Third down and a country mile. Over the middle, thrown, tip, incomplete, off of the fingertips of Pisaneski. Looked like maybe tip drill was going to work for him. But no, fourth down and 27. Also another score from up north. Southridge lost to University 46-28. Punt.
Deshaun's too deep.
Deshaun standing at the 40. And the punt will be angled away towards the sideline. It'll bounce at the 40, take a LaSalle Prep roll, and across the 50 to the 49 is where Hermiston will take over on the Griffin Cardwell punt. .319 left in the fourth. Hermiston 47, LaSalle Prep 21. Last drive, Hermiston just not really inspired as they went 3 and out.
Well, and the nice thing is they are giving Jonathan Hinkle, the break that he needs. I mean, he had the cramps, so now they're just going to have to worry about getting Peter Earl the ball and letting him do some running. And it looks like Joey Gutierrez is in the backfield now.
It's Earl who takes a handoff, running down the middle. He's got some space up to the 40-yard line. Peter Earl, an 11-yard gain, and he's pulled down by Ryan Bjorvik.
It's nice to have good, fresh legs. He'd only run the ball 5 times for the night before that rush there, and it makes a world of difference whenever you're trying to run a game down.
Clock is spinning. First down and 10 from the 40. That's what Hermiston needed. They don't need to score again, other than to make my prediction look more correct. But they just need one more first down, maybe two. Depends how they manage the clock here. Earl takes a handoff, running left side. Earl's got some space at the 30. Earl to the 25, near sideline 20, 15, and pulled down at the 11-yard line. It was Edgerly who made the tackle. Great block out here on the near sideline.
Joey Gutierrez again. Great block out there.
To the 11. Clock will spin again with 2.5 minutes left in the regulation game. Neal out wide to the right along with Gutierrez and Andrew Earl. Keep by James, throws it out into the right flat, and Joey Gutierrez is going to be stopped, grabbed at the ankle at the 9-yard line. 2-yard gain. Senior Miguel Franco is in the backfield now with James. Little snow, I'm told, down at the Mountain View game.
Oh, we remember that.
No, little snow, not a blizzard.
Yeah, that was a cold night.
Franco will take the handoff, running left. Good push in front of him, down to the 4-yard line. About a 5-yard gain. Minute 18 left. This Hardy bunch that made the trip over here. LaSalle Prep is a small private school in the Milwaukee area, just outside the Portland metro area. Under 700 students, they are one of the smallest teams in 5A. They'll be the third smallest next year. They will stay in 5A in the next classification in the Northwest Oregon Conference. But it means they don't really have, there's not a town that comes with them. Bobbled ball, snap is out and loose, and Hermiston has fumbled it away. Andrew James putting it into the belly of Franco, and Franco lost it. And it was picked up by Tony Huynh. But just to finish the thought, they don't have, there's not a town to travel with them for a playoff game. Their first one since they were a 4A team. They won a state title at the 4A about a half dozen years ago. But this small Hardy bunch that came out here, the head coach, Aaron Hazel, he played quarterback at Eastern Oregon University after he graduated from LaSalle Prep in '99. He's one of 4 on the staff who are LaSalle Prep alumna. 45 seconds remaining as LaSalle Prep will take over. 47-21 is the score line. Just a question of by how much now. Owens will turn it out. It's Huynh who's getting to run.
Wow.
Huynh.
That would be a beast. Have your defensive end like that come up and take a handoff.
Huynh getting to run at 6 feet, 205 at a senior. And now 2nd down and 9. Running to the right side. This is a different lineman this time. They should use their last timeout. Yep, they're going to use their last timeout.
Number 68.
And who did they hand? It was Ben Weiss that time. 6'2", 245 at a senior. I like it.
Gets a 10-yard pickup that time,
And there's 8 seconds left, and they're going to call their last timeout. And Jacob Brumbaugh is going to be the one who gets to run the next one, unless they change something here. I like this. Hazel talked about it. It was tough. This team, when they came in, the seniors, there's 20 of them. The class of 2018, they really worked hard to get in this position just to be in the playoffs. A year ago, they went 2-5 in the Northwest Oregon Conference. They were 4-5 overall, missed the playoffs. And for them, just a great chance to get into the playoffs. And Hazel said, for his juniors and his seniors, this is a great opportunity to get some extra practice in. But he said that 5A is significantly tougher. In the 4 years he's been in charge of the program, they've been a 5A school. And they're getting more buy-in and more buy-in, and this senior class has been part of it. And they're such hard workers. Brumbaugh will take the handoff down the middle. Brumbaugh rolls across the 25-yard line up near the 27-yard line. And that will be the last play for LaSalle Prep of the season and for Hermiston of this round of 16 game. 47-21 is the final score. Hermiston is going to the quarterfinals in 2017. Story Motors post-game show is coming up from Kennison.